Hello, my name is Kirk Kempton, and I'd like to show you today how to use the carpet cleaning pricing area within your ResponsiBid account. The first thing that I'm going to point out to you is that in this accordion, the carpet cleaning pricing accordion, you have a choice between pricing by the square footage or pricing by the room. And the first thing you're going to notice when you look at these is that you can price for a basic, a deluxe, and a premium service in both cases. If you're pricing by the room, you'll price each room like so, and if you're pricing by the square foot, you'll tell ResponsiBid how much per square foot you're going to charge. But what we haven't done yet is say what basic stands for and what deluxe means and what premium means. ResponsiBid needs to know how to present it to the customer. It just knows that you have 3 different service levels. So what you'll do is you'll just go into your package builder, and the first item of business is to go into your carpet cleaning package builder and just define what it is that you're going to do. You can add several lines if you feel like you need a few lines for it. You can change the text that's in there, and if you need to, you can even disable a package or so, but I would highly recommend not doing that if you can at all help it, because the more packages that you offer your customers, the more context they're going to have, and the more likely you'll be in closing the job if you're upselling or downselling. So it's very important, if you can, to be able to price out 3 different levels of clean. But in this case, we've said that basic means hot water extraction, deluxe means that we're going to have stain protection, and premium means that we're going to have sanitization, deodorization. So let's go back into the pricing area. And now when we look at this, we know that we're charging 40 cents a square foot for extraction, 60 cents a square foot for extraction plus the protection, and 70 cents a square foot for extraction, protection, and deodorization. So with all that said, it's just important that you make sure you always set your packages up first so that you know what the heck you're defining. So in this case, I'm going to look at the carpet cleaning square footage area, and you can see that the first thing we did was we set a minimum room size to 50 square feet. So if someone says they have a room that measures less than 50 square feet, ResponsiBid is going to count that room as if it's 50 square feet. You can put down several names. We load up a few defaults, but these rooms are just for the customer's help as they're filling out the bid form, and then later when you go to do the job, it'll make it a little easier for you to know which rooms need to get done. So you can add new room names if you need to, or you can just delete room names, or of course you can rename room names. So once you do this, this is basically saying what you're going to allow the customer to choose from. And then there's another option called Other, and in Other you can either disable it so that it's not an option in the drop down, or if it is, when they select it, they'll have the opportunity to give the room a name. So that's kind of neat. Then you can add flat rate items. Flat rate items are things like flight of stairs, stair step, stair landing. Maybe if you wanted to just have a flat rate for bathrooms or something like that. Then in that case, what would happen is that when they select the item, they won't be asked for measurements for that room. You're just going to automatically take basic, deluxe, and premium pricing into account. Just remember that when you add an item, or if you want to edit one of these items, you'll be able to give it a description. So when they do select it, instead of getting an opportunity to put the measurements of the room in, they'll actually get a little question mark that they can hover over and learn about it. Of course, some flat rate items you may want to make so that they're bid in person items. So keep that in mind as you're building this out. And then you can also see that we have a volume discount area, so that as the job gets bigger and bigger, you'll be able to take into account new discounts. And of course, these discounts, it'll only give one of these discounts, whatever the greatest that applies is. And then special conditions, like all the other carpet and tile areas. Basically, it's just an area for you to be able to put some checkboxes down for the customer to signify whether they have it or not. If you choose ignore, you're just basically collecting that information for your information. But you can also apply discounts for certain things or upcharges for other things. Or if something is something that's going to make it a deal breaker to give online or over the phone quotes, then you can just mark it as a bid in person item. If you'd like any of these to be checked by default, all you have to do is just, let's see, maybe we'll say we'll check that by default. and then you can save it. And of course you can add other special conditions if you like. So now that we've got this area ready, let's go take a quick look over at the room pricing options. Now, when the customer is given the opportunity to get a carpet cleaning bid, if you have both of these styles turned on under your company profile, which you'll find under settings, this is where you would turn on or off whatever options your customer has. If you've got both of them turned on, they'll just select which style bid they want. So in one case, they'll be asked to give the measurements of the room, but in this case, they would be asked just to choose a room type. And I think that people who choose this option are probably going to be more likely to want to have fewer options for the customer, just a gut feeling for simplicity's sake. But in any event, let's just say that this XL room over 400 square feet, you can make items that need to be bid in person, and you can add other room styles if you need to. Just like the other options, you'll have volume discounts instead of number of square feet. This will work in terms of room, and also special conditions. You can set those up to be, whatever you'd like. And then the other one, we chose that heavy furniture be checked by default. Just for consistency, I'm going to have that checked. Okay, so that's pretty much all of it. Once you go in and you test the bid, you can just go into the smart form and you can check on the carpet cleaning option. So you can check right here, continue, and you'll see that we have the option here because both of them are enabled. So I'm going to first show you the square footage. This is where you're going to select a room and how many feet by how many feet. If you want to choose other, then you would be asked to name the room something. So you might say like a indoor patio or something like that. It doesn't really matter because the square feet is going to override it. And they can add a few rooms, but they can't submit the bid until they've entered the information that's necessary. The other thing is, if we go to number of rooms, this is where they would just select a room and tell you how many of those rooms they have. I'll show you other. Once again, they can name the room. In this case, we don't know a lot about other, and so I really recommend, like we do have it set, that you mark this as a bid in person item. And then once you get bid in person items that are submitted, all you have to do is log into the profile. And if you have a deluxe or premium account, all you need to do is just enter in the price once you've seen it, or if you discuss it over the phone with the customer, then you can just put in some price overrides and it'll allow the quote to output an actual quote for the customer. So if you have any questions, you can always go into the discuss button that's affiliated with that accordion. Ask a question on our question and answer site, and we will answer them within 24 business hours. And other than that, have fun and happy ResponsiBidding.